muscle here. Okay, you see those? Those are the temporalis muscles. Okay, and now if we move further back, you can see this little kind of T-shaped muscle here. It actually runs deep to this strappy muscle, like here, this big thing right here. Okay, so that big strappy muscle is called the latissimus dorsi. It's huge. Okay, it runs all the way this way. And this muscle just anterior and on top of the latissimus dorsi is called the deltoid. Okay, so the deltoid is it's like a fan shape on either side. And so deep to the latissimus dorsi is this T-shaped muscle. And we can lift up, maybe or maybe not. I did it last time. Okay, so we can lift up the latissimus dorsi and see that this muscle travels underneath and ends up here. That's called the longissimus dorsi. So it's a long muscle covered by a lateral muscle. Both are on the dorsal side. Longissimus dorsi, latissimus dorsi, deltoid, temporalis. Okay, now if we move further back, we can see that there are these muscles on the side of the abdominal area. These are the obliquus externus muscles or external oblique muscles. And then you see three bones here. This is the fused sacrum or tailbone area of the frog called the urostyle. And the muscles that connect these three bones together, that are arranged in kind of like an arrow or chevron pattern, are called the coccygeoiliacus muscles. That's your big muscle name, yes. Okay, so we move to the leg, and we can see that there are two huge muscles, a quadriceps muscle and a hamstring muscle. This quadriceps muscle is called the triceps femoris. It's called triceps because it has three different connections. Okay, so there's a connection here, a connection here, and then if we follow it to the other side, there's a connection in here. Okay, so look I can see the triceps femoris on this side, but it's prominently on the dorsal side. If I look at the hamstring muscle, this big sheet of muscle here is known as the semimembranosus. And then if we kind of just gently tease this little strip muscle away at the bottom, this is called the gracilis minor. You can see it on this side too. Okay, so triceps femoris, semimembranosus, gracilis minor, obliquus externus, coccygeoiliacus. Okay, so here's the knee. This calf muscle is called the gastrocnemius. And on the dorsal side of the front or anterior of the shin, we have this muscle here called the proneus. Okay, the gastroc is attached to the foot by this Achilles tendon. Okay, so we have the gastrocnemius and proneus on the dorsal side. On the ventral side, we have this lovely muscle, sheet of muscle. This is called the mylohyoid, and it's actually a really thin muscle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just lateral to the midline, linea alba. So I'm going to take a scissors and cut gently through and reflect back my mylohyoid. And I'm going to reveal two strap muscles on either side of the midline that are deep to the mylohyoid. Okay, so I see one strap muscle that's lateral, and then this strap muscle that's medial. Okay, and there's one on each side. Okay, the lateral thicker muscle is called the geniohyoid, and the genio refers to tongue, and the medial one is called the hyoglossus muscle. Okay, so mylohyoid, geniohyoid, and hyoglossus. Now just posterior and medial to that, you're going to see this like big thin piece of bone here. Okay, it's actually two pieces of bone that are kind of covering each other like this. This is the two sides of the sternum. This is called the xiphisternum, that bone. Okay, so you have two bones. You have your urostyle and your xiphisternum. Okay, so let's spread the frog's arms out like this. And we see that there are two muscles. Oh my God, I told you guys the wrong thing. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I told you guys that this was the deltoid, right? No, this is the depressor mandibulae. Okay? Depressor mandibulae. This is my God, I just put it back. The depressor mandibulae. Okay? Not the deltoid. Depressor mandibulae, latissimus dorsi, longissimus dorsi, temporalis. Okay? I'm sorry. I should know that. All right, so stretching the frog's arm out. Look at that. It's got this huge muscle. Deltoid. There you go.
I was wondering,
Exactly.
I was like, wait a minute.
I know, right? I was like, that doesn't sound right. So deltoid are on either side. We don't do the pectoralis because it's interrupted by this huge cut here. But look at the froggy's little, well, this one doesn't have a six-pack like mine. Look at this one. Look at that. Oh. All right. So those are called the rectus abdominis muscles. And here again, lateral to that, we have our obliquus externus muscles. Okay? So we have mylohyoid, geniohyoid, hyoglossus. We have our bone here, the xiphisternum, deltoids, rectus abdominis, obliquus externus. Now, the leg muscles on the ventral side are a little bit more complex. So the first thing I want to do is I want to locate my triceps femoris. Okay, I can see that on both sides here. Just covering that is a real thin sheet of muscle. You have a better luck getting it up this way. So use your blunt probe and kind of tease this muscle away from everything else. Okay? This sheet of muscle, it's one of the adductor muscles, so it adds the leg, pulls the leg in. This is called the sartorius. Okay, just deep to the sartorius is another thin strap muscle, and it is right on the surface. Oh shit, I broke it. Right on the surface of the triceps femoris. This is called the adductor longus. Okay, so we can take our sartorius and kind of cover that up again. Now, just medial and posterior to the sartorius here, sartorius here, is this triangle muscle. If I lift up the sartorius though, I see it's huge and it travels all the way underneath the sartorius. This is called the adductor magnus, meaning big. Okay? So you have your adductor longus, which is this long, skinny, nothing muscle underneath the sartorius, and then you have your adductor magnus. Now this big muscle right here that forms the hamstring, this is called the gracilis major, and that is anterior to our little strap muscle that we saw on the dorsal side, the gracilis minor. Okay, so we have triceps femoris, sartorius, duh, all right, have this teeny tiny little adductor longus, adductor magnus, gracilis major, gracilis minor. Okay, so now we have the ventral side of the foreleg. Again, we see the gastrocnemius here. It's huge. Gastroc Achilles tendon. below the gastrocnemius is this muscle that's kind of coating this bone called the tibiofibula. So the tibia and the fibula are fused together in the frog. This muscle is called the tibialis posterior. Now, we have, remember, the proneus that's on the dorsal side. On the ventral side, there's another muscle called the tibialis anticus. Okay, so we have gastrocnemius, tibialis posterior, tibialis anticus. Okay? Good? You want that one? You can have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.